Good morning, friends and fellow traders, and happy Friday. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, coming to you with a morning market preparation video for August 10th, 2018. So, hey everyone, as we head into this Friday, we've had a little bit of, well, just a little bit of concern here in the market. Nothing major, but one of the things that I believe in my trading is that price is king. Price tells us most everything we need to know about trading. And if we just learn to focus on that price action and take a good hard look at it, we're going to find that we have better trading results. Now, I've been warning over the last just a few days to be cautious as we approach this price resistance up here, to be careful not to overtrade or to be adding a whole bunch of new positions or new risk as we head in toward that resistance level. And now we're seeing that resistance is something that needs to be respected, as we're getting a rejection up here, at least for the moment, a rejection of price. That price action is just saying we need to pull back. Now, that doesn't mean that the upside move here is over. It just means as we were pushing against that resistance level, we need to at least back up for just a little while, gather our energy, and to maybe attack those highs. But we always want to pay attention to support, resistance, and trend and what they are telling us in a chart. And hopefully everyone didn't overtrade this area, because it's one of those things that I used to do all the time. And admittedly, I wasted years playing this game, where I would use a whole bunch of indicators and things like that, trying to define the perfect combination and things like that would help me do better in my trading, when all I really needed to do was focus on the price action and what price action was telling me, and looking at those support, resistance, and trend levels, and how the market is, how price action is responding to those levels. And with that, we have basically all the clues we need to successfully trade. And it was only when I became that student of price that I actually see an improvement in my trading, and actually started to see significant gains, and changed my trading life. So I am always very focused on that, and hopefully everyone is beginning to see, or has seen, the benefits of just simple price action and what it can do for your trading. So here we are, down now, pulling back. This morning we're looking at a gap down of about 100 points. Coming back down here to this support level. Now what we want to see is, we want to see that support level hold, and we might even get some kind of a bounce off of that moving forward. So we want to see that support area hold. If we happen to fail here, obviously that would be kind of rough on the market, and we could move down into this area pretty quickly. So watch that closely. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY also just showing us a little bit of a clue up here that we were struggling with this resistance, this all-time high. And we tried and tried and tried, but there just wasn't enough energy to really push us through there. And now it looks like this morning we're going to gap down here in the SPY. Nothing terrible. We're just coming back down to retest maybe this trend. And you could draw this trend in many different ways on the chart. We may be just coming down to retest that trend. We may find some support in there, and maybe right off of this price action right here, we can find a little price support. So nothing to be overly worried about, but if you were over trading in this, you could see some significant losses today, and I would, and I know the pain of that. Believe me, I know the pain of that. So I'm always being very watchful and respectful of support, resistance, and trend. Q's doing the same thing, pushing, trying to get up there and test that all-time high, and doggone it, it just doesn't seem to be able to do it on this move. Here we are. There's that trend as I've drawn. Now that goes all the way back here, but you can see we've rallied back up to test that trend, and just we're not able to get that all-time high print that I think the market was really hoping that we would get. And this morning we're looking at a gap down, into this area. Nothing significant, but again, just a little bit of caution. Now I would suggest this level right here is where we could pick up a little price support, and if that doesn't hold, price support in here. So the Qs are in a lot better position than for example, the diamonds. The SPY is also in a better condition than the diamonds. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM also pushing up, and notice that there's that pesky little trend line again that we pushed up and tested as resistance, and now we're starting to see a little bit of stress right in here and all this price congestion. Remember, we've had 3 attempts. We made our all-time high here, tried to make it again right here, couldn't do it, tried to make it again right here, couldn't do it, and finally started to show signs of weakness with a lower high, breaking trend, and now rallying back right up here to price resistance and struggling right in here. So this price resistance, the market looks like it wants to respect, at least at the moment. IWM gapping down slightly, but there's nothing in here that suggests just total bearishness yet in any of the charts. So don't overly panic about this. This could just be a simple light pullback to test support levels. Let's take a look at the VIX. I'm guessing with a gap down this morning, we're going to see a little bit of fear creep in. And you can see we saw a little bit of that fear creep in right here. And what's amazing is it's right off of this trend line that I have had marked on here for years. And just keep stretching it out, stretching it out. And we're finding price support in the VIX right there. And it would look with this hammer pattern, if we get a follow through today, that would suggest a little bit of fear creeping into the market. I don't know how long it'll last. I don't think the fear is great right now. And I don't think we're going to see something like this, just pop into view. But we do want to pay attention when fear might be creeping into the market. Now, as I talk about this, the Dow is looking at about 100 points in a gap down, but let's keep in mind that there's a lot of earnings. We've got about 46 companies reporting earnings today, and that's a significant decrease from what we have been seeing. But as those earnings continue to roll in, anything is possible. We could find something in there that really perks the market up. But as of right now, it looks like we just have a little bit of stress on the market. Also, a thing that might be stressing and bringing a little fear into the market is just heading into the weekend. We have the uncertainty of, that the trade tensions building between the U.S. and China. And as those tensions continue to crop up and cause problems, a little bit of profit taking into the weekend will not be a big surprise, just as people try to trim their risk and lower their exposure to the weekend. So we'll wait and see what happens there, but nothing is, in a major significant way here showing us lots and lots of fear coming in. So we'll want to watch that closely. Let's take a look at T2122. T2122 is the 4-week new high, new low ratio. And you can see we've been bouncing around in here. That's about all we've done. We haven't really gone anywhere. We're running, this pattern in here, but please keep in mind these patterns are not significant in telling us what the market is going to do. Remember, this is just a 4-week new high, new low ratio. And it just gives us that indication that we were kind of ranging around this middle zone, and gave us the opportunity to either push higher or push lower. And it looks like we're getting that push lower. And if we get down into this area here on a light pullback, we may have that opportunity to have found those buyers and regrouped and give those bulls an opportunity to push us back up. So let's watch that closely, but we do have plenty of room to be able to move down, which, if you're overly long the market, that would be certainly uncomfortable. Let's take a look at the economic calendar today. We have the CPI, which is obviously one of those big reports that can move the market around a little bit. CPI is looking to increase just a tiny little bit, but the core number is expected to stay unchanged. So I don't know that we're going to get a lot of movement out of that, but you never know. And then, of course, we have the Treasury Budget at 2 o'clock. They label this in as one that can move the market around, but it rarely does. The Treasury Budget right now, consensus is expecting a little bit of an increase in deficit. So big surprise there. The government's going to spend more than they bring in. And I think that might be why it's not one that really moves the market around unless there's a major surprise in that number. So with that, everyone, hey, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you a great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, please do me a favor, click on that subscribe button on YouTube, follow me button on Facebook, click those thumbs up buttons and drop a comment. I do truly appreciate those. And everyone, I want to wish you all a fantastic weekend. Take care, and we'll talk to you all bright and early Monday morning. Have a good one.